Hi, everyone. Welcome to Curated by Becta's Meal Kit number 121 for October 13th to the 15th. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving, and thanks so much for ordering this week. Thanks for letting us be a part of a special celebration at home. So, we've got an amazing menu tonight. I'm super excited. I love Nagano pork chops. It was actually my request to the chef because my son and I have been enjoying them at home a lot lately, and my wife as well. But my son and I really are getting down with them. So he got in this beautiful heritage pork loin, which is what the Nagano is. It's from Nagano, Japan, is the breed of the pig, and they're gorgeous, well marbled, super tender, really tasty. We've already cooked it sous vide, so we've done most of the cooking, and you're just going to finish it off. First thing you want to do, a little salt and pepper on both sides. Good to have a variety of tongs so you don't have to get your hands dirty on this. You want to get your pan nice and hot, sort of medium high heat. And we're going to do 1 tablespoon per person of grapeseed oil or canola oil or neutral oil, whatever you like. And that's going to be both in the veg pan, which is, I like a large nonstick pan, and also a cast iron pan. If you don't have one yet, please go and get one. They're super cheap and super handy around the house. But otherwise, you can use any heavy bottom pan that's going to really retain the heat. Okay, pork chops are nice and seasoned, and that's going in the pan as it is warm. Got that nice little sear. We're going to go 60 seconds on each side. Deal with this guy quickly. And we should actually start the veg as well because so the total time for the pork is going to be about 10 minutes because you got some searing, you got some baking, and then most importantly, you've got the resting. So all the juices go back to the center. And in terms of the veg, so we've got 4 minutes and then 3 minutes. So why don't we go ahead and get started on that as well. Let me turn up the heat on this guy to get medium hot. So a 7 on my induction range. Gas is always more preferable to me, and that's why I like using it. Let's check out how our pork is doing. You want to get a nice little brown sear, and you want to render some of that gorgeous fat on there. And we can also get started on the appetizer. So you get a apple. Very little cutting ever in our curated videos, but in this case, we're going to cut because we don't want the apple to oxidize when we send it to you, but apple really makes the salad. So you can take your center out and you can slice it in sort of 1-inch chunks. I'm probably doing more apple than we need based upon how we do it. The other thing is you can sort of cut it around and just leave the center there so that the apple is a little bit less, but we'll deal with that and put it in the compost. Okay, how is our pork doing? Got a nice little sear on it. And then we're going to throw it in the oven after a minute. Now, in terms of our veg, so we're going to saute the trumpet mushrooms, or otherwise known as the king Urangi mushrooms, and the bok choy. Again, 1 tablespoon of neutral oil per person. Medium high. We can just throw it all in there. It's going to pop a little bit because there's a little bit of water in the bok choy, and that is okay. By the way, while this is going, let's have a little sip of wine. Tonight, for the wine pairing option, we've got a Vermentino, which is from the Pays d'Oct region of France, or the Languedoc. From the clay, sandy soils of the Pézenas, this humble, low-intervention Vermentino, locally known as Rolle, is ripe with southern France sun and tight with fermentation and aging, stainless, golden apple, light pear, apple blossom, and tightened with pear skin and finishes with pithy tangerine and riverstone. I agree that it's got a little zip to it and a little bit of minerality, which is really going to be nice with this salad. Okay, let's see. Both sides have got a nice sear. So now we're going to put this in the oven for 4 minutes. Hey Google, set a timer for 4 minutes. I've also got my butternut squash puree here. I'm going to put that up to 4 now. And because I like cooking on gas a little more, I'm going to turn that guy off and move my veg over to gas on the medium-high heat. Keep getting a little stir because you want a nice sear on that. So after a couple minutes, we're going to throw some butter on it. But in the meantime, so I've got our arugula, our endive, and our apple that I've just sliced in here. And we're going to add our burnt honey vinaigrette. Now we use a lot of local ingredients, and the honey is one of them. And it's from G's Bees Honey. Let's see if I'm missing anything. Do I have to add, season with salt and pepper? So the vinaigrette will have some already, but throw a little extra salt and pepper in there, especially because you got the bitter endive and you want some brightness to it. They probably sent me home with too much in terms of the ingredients section on this, but that's okay. My wife is out at an art gallery opening tonight because she has just joined the board of the Ottawa Art Gallery, which I'm very proud of. Okay, I'm going to turn this down a little bit because it's got some nice color already. Actually, I'm going to throw the butter in now, which is 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter per person, so 2 for us. Give that a nice stir around. All right, so for the salad, try to get it so the endive is spread out a little bit. You know, some people are going to like to just dice up the endive, and that's cool too. Whatever floats your boat. But make sure that the apple is nicely separated between the 2 plates. My son probably more a fan of apple than he is of endive. So maybe I'll put a little more apple on his plate, a little less endive, and spread it out all around. He's promised me, because he had a clip bar right before dinner, he's promised me that he will be able to eat the entire dinner. So let's see, and we'll hold him to that. The veg is looking very nice. Nice little caramelized color. We don't want to use the pork tongs, we'll use other ones. I'm going to turn this up a little bit. I want to make sure that it's not too thin when I put it on the plate. The butternut squash puree. Hey Google, how much time's left on the timer? Okay, and when that's done, we're going to melt some unsalted butter in there as well, and then do some basting, and then we're going to rest it for 5 minutes. So very key. Hopefully I'm not boring you on that, but we still have the dessert to do as well. I think our pork's doing pretty well. I actually basted it, or not basted it, I probably seared it a little bit longer than 60 seconds per side. Hey Google, turn the timer off. So the pan should be nice and hot out of the oven. We're going to put the butter on there. And once it melts, okay, now my butternut squash puree is popping a lot. Give it a stir. Maybe I turned it up a little too much. Okay, and this is the way to baste. So you take your cast iron pan, hopefully you have one, put it down on an angle, and give it some basting like this. Then we'll turn those bad boys over. Whoops. We'll do it on the, I'm making it quite a mess tonight. And we'll baste that up. Thanks, by the way, for all the folks who ordered Thanksgiving dinners from us and took the time to email and let us know how much you enjoyed it. I'm very grateful. It really makes our week when we come back from a long weekend and we see all those lovely comments. Now our pork will just rest there. That guy can rest there. I'm going to basically turn off the heat now on the veg, and that'll stay warm. Give the butternut squash a little stir. Hopefully yours doesn't pop too much. Okay, let's finish up these salads. We've got some candied walnuts, so you can break those apart so they don't stick. That gives a little crunch, a little more sweetness. And we've got the fresh dill, which really makes any salad pop. Again, my son, probably not the biggest fan of dill. I only sort of learned to warm up to it recently. But the one thing he does love is the lardon. So country bacon that we make in-house, double smoked, and it just gives a luxuriousness to the salad. Because why would you not want that on a, well, for us, it's a Wednesday night. For you guys, a Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. There we go. A lovely salad of, let's type Honeycrisp apple, burnt honey vinaigrette, endive, arugula, dill, lardon, and candied walnuts. There we go. Let's get ready for the main course, but first, let's give this a stir. Give this a stir. Turn off the oven because I always forget to do that. Our decadent salted dark chocolate tart with candied orange and espresso crumble. That goes into your bowl or on your plate. And then we've got this nice crumble. You don't have to use all of it. They probably sent me 2 portions worth. That's just gonna give it a really nice texture, a nice crunch. Of course, I cleaned off the plate, and then I made another mess. We'll put that in the sink, and then we've got some candied orange rind to go on top. Beautiful. There we are. I can't wait for that one. All right. Now let's get going. So, butternut squash puree. That's going to go down first. What you can do is the little chef swoosh as well, like a Nike swoosh. If you have not watched these videos before, you basically take the back of a spoon, just drag it through. That is really good stuff. Our veg is next. Bok choy. My son has promised to eat all of his veg, so let's see if we can hold him to account. And the trumpet royale mushrooms, or as they are otherwise known, little baby kingarengies. And then finally, if you've got some nice crunchy sea salt, that's going to be great to finish the pork. Now this should be medium, so there should just be a tiny little bit of pink left for you. Give him the bigger one. You know what? Of course I didn't follow the instructions. The pitas are supposed to be going on top of the veg. With this guy, I'll try to raise the pork up, sprinkle some down. Did I hit it with some salt? Always good to finish the pork. And then finally, we've got our chimichurri. And one more spoon. Sorry, we're dirtying a few spoons for you tonight. I'm just going to push this. And please use as much or as little as you like. But it really changes the game. It's one of the best things about these curated meals are the amazing sauces. Let's clean up the plate. There we go. So our lovely Nagano pork loin with the pepitas, the chimichurri, butternut squash puree, trumpet royale, bok choy, and pepitas. And by the way, the red wine pairing for tonight, Old Star from Olivier Coste, a fabulous producer in the south of France. And this is his just Old Star wine is what he calls it. And it's really good. If you want to get to know some really great new wines that you're not going to be able to get at the LCBO, please order the wine pairings because they're so much fun and they really go great with the food, I think. Anyway, thanks for ordering this week. I hope you love your meal and we're very grateful for all your support. And we hope to cook and curate for you again real soon.